and that's managing. Like if you have that straight with the artists have feelings, have like he've put so much work hours into that piece of music, but then and then you have that reaction that is kind of like, oh well, I'm not sure, and that could break an artist.
But why aren't Canadian out there as much as the Americans are?
I think that we need to build, and we need to build with the right format.
What do you think of artists taking like a sample?
Well, so this is where I also get gray hairs.
Because no one's original anymore.
No, it's because now they're sampling music that I came out when I was my time.
Damn.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of AoY. Just a reminder that we're talking about the 90s and Y2Ks and iconic moments, music, TV, whatever it is that you want to talk about. And today we are talking again about music. I'm Eloise, and
this is Katia.
And today is our last episode of the season, especially with our music segment. So we have a surprise for you guys. We have a special guest, Emilio.
Hi everyone. That was my camera. No.
Right here.
Oh my god, I get a standing ovation. That's crazy.
Let's go.
So FYI, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Emilio. No cap.
What?
Yeah.
No cap.
This is
Because we met because of you.
Yeah.
So
wow.
thank you for
For our paths crossed together.
yeah.
Yeah, and the first time I saw you was we were watching. I was watching wrestling with your brother, and
Yo, se me nota.
and I said, "Oh, I'm looking for a job," and then, "Hey, we're looking for people," and
Boom.
look,
There
and
you
now
go.
there's a podcast now.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Right.
All right, so we're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about platforms, anything that has to do with TV, radio, social media, etc. And honestly, just tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what
Well,
you do.
first of all, when you said, "Oh, come as a guest," and said yesterday, I was like, "Damn, I feel old, but have a good skin routine."
Yes, you do.
So yeah, no, I've been I guess like you, I've been a fan of music since the first time. Like my first concert I was 3 years old. I was in Peru. I still remember because I got to the big screen somehow, and
that's right.
the name was Pedro Suarez Vertis, and I don't know, I just knew the lyrics at 3 years old, and since that I was like, oh, I just love music. I love sports, but also music. So I was trying to be involved in music. So I've been producing beats, making music videos, so and being a manager for artists, being a A&R, and now I'm working behind the scenes and doing some marketing for music shows and festivals, and yep, I'm here to talk about like the whole progression of from a Walkman to an Apple disc by Drake. So
We were going to talk about
Right.
that.
Do you want to talk about everything that happened the past couple of weeks in the music industry?
Everyone's beefing, which is great for hip hop because it's been like like there wasn't any big moments in hip hop in the last year other than our albums, and even the term album is a little bit outdated. I think right now everyone's trying to do like singles and playlists.
Do you think it's a big problem that there's no album out? It's only like singles or like EPs?
I can ask you the same question. Is like, how do you consume music? If you listen to like, if you're trying to create like fire playlists, you might put a song of each artist, and then you think, oh my God, I just put 3 songs of J. Cole on my playlist. I put too much J. Cole, because you're looking at names. So if you consume one song per artist, then when you try to go to a show or to a festival, your brain goes to like, oh, but I only like one song. And then you'll be like, oh, should I buy my ticket for one song? It's worth it for one song. So then when you look at the Coachella lineup, you say, oh, it looks mid. But then you say, oh, I really like the artist because, So I consume the same way you consume music as streaming and everything. But if the album is good, like I buy on vinyl. Like if Rosalia is good live, I buy the shirt and everything. So it really is like how you consume music. But yeah, so the Drake diss is great for everyone.
Did you hear the Chris Brown diss on Quavo?
On my way here. I don't know why. I think he's a couple years late. Quavo was messing around with his girl for a minute, so I think he's like, oh, everybody's dissing now. So it's good.
What did you think about the Nicki concert? Did you go?
Yes, I was there since 7:30.
Damn.
It was good, and like the thing is like, artists are artists, and whatever she put out as a statement is what we should believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like as a fan, if I've waited a long time for Travis Scott, I waited a long time for the Kanye's and the Rihanna's, and it was a good show.
The energy was there.
It was the high moments were high. The my highlight was the Monsterverse. I think I always say that's what the best rap feature of all time.
100%.
Male or female.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was high. Even I didn't like Starships when it came out.
The Barb's gonna get him.
No, when it came out, it was like okay, but
now,
but that was a highlight of the show.
Yes, 100%.
It was high energy. I was jumping, and
I thought I was gonna fall over the railing.
It was great. So yeah, I think she did great. If she could have like come early, then I think that the rate would have been like higher.
Yeah.
But it was 1 a.m. and people were still there. It didn't look empty. It was like 90% there. So.
Yes, I loved it. We love you, Nicki.
We love you.
What was your highlight of the show?
I think it was everything. Honestly, when she sang "Moment for Life,"
For me, it was super bass.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember, but when my brother was doing the
video, the dancing.
He asked me when I was like 11 years old to just like dance with him on stage, and it was on super bass.
Yeah.
So when super bass started, I just started crying.
She has a great production. The singers, the dancers.
The dancers were phenomenal.
And Maddie's still young.
Oh man, pass the mic. Give the mic back. She's a character. She's great.
She's a good performer.
Yes.
Like there are artists that, they sing well but are not performers, and there are artists that don't sing well but their energy on the stage
is not present.
No, she raps bar for bar.
She gave us dance. She gave us sexy. She gave us big booty. Everything.
She gave us advice.
Yes, she did. Stay in school.
It was a good speech. Yeah.
Stay in school. Love yourself.
Period, Nicki.
Yeah. All right. So we have a few questions.
Okay.
You were not born here.
No, I was born in Peru. Then I did a couple months in Texas and Vermont, and then I came to Montreal.
Oh wow! How old were you when you were doing all this traveling until you got to Montreal?
12.
12?
Yeah. So I learned English first, and then I was like, "Oh, what? We're going to Montreal."
And you had to learn French.
Damn.
That must have been hard.
I just learned the language. I was like, okay, like Texas it was half ranchera, which is like country Mexican music, and half country. So the Alan Jacksons, the La Banda Recodo were playing when I was there, and then got to Vermont, and it was all folk music. So different vibes.
And you get here, you get the Quebecois experience.
Yeah, and then I got here. I used to listen to. I had my CDs from I used to listen to 70s music, 60s, like all my mom's music, and then all my Latino friends like, what the fuck are you listening to? Then I come here and I was learning the language, and I was like, do you know about reggaeton? It was just like 03. It's like, you don't listen to perreo? It's like, no, I'm listening to Freddie Mercury and the Electrolyte Orchestra. I was like, oh, you're not gonna get any girls with Electrolyte Orchestra. And then I switched to reggaeton, and there are Snoop Dogg's and hip hop.
Okay, so when you came to Montreal, you weren't exposed to the Quebec music industry?
No, but my first week in, I went to the library and got whatever came out that week.
Oh wow!
And it was Don Juan, La Comédie Musicale. Weird
everything.
And it was March 03. So that came out and it was
Oui, le colocasse.
Ariane Moffat, Ariane Moffat, and then Star Academy.
So what's
Oh my
up?
god, we're so happy you brought this up.
Yeah,
We got it.
yeah, that was like
Yeah.
the first time I went to Archambault because I was just say I want to learn like the culture, so I was like, they gave me some music, and yeah, that was it just came out like Le Ce n'est pas fini chanson was just it dropped at the same time I dropped. Yeah.
That's interesting because we're gonna bring this up later on, but we do want to talk about the importance of like Much Music, Music
Yeah.
Plus, MTV, Musimax, Virgin, 94.7.
Do you live any of that? Did you got to experience any of that? You had the later years. Right?
Well, because I can say that because you were there when they had the Much Music
My
documentary,
gray hairs are.
and I think that this
This
era.
was my hairline.
You're good.
Yeah.
I think the era of Much Music, Music Plus here just transcends from Generation X to Gen Z. Because my mom was watching Much Music when it first got out. You definitely watched Much Music and Music Plus when it was on its rise, and we were there for the downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There was a pre and after Jersey Shore.
Yeah, kind of.
So Jersey Shore was on Music Plus.
Well, so MTV was whatever was abroad, like US, and then Much Music was. They had the rights to the MTV shows,
Yeah.
like the VMAs and all that stuff, and then they had to create their own shows as locally. So let's say the countdowns are different countdowns because you can include like Canadian artists.
Yeah.
And all that. So not mostly like the TRL. Total Request Live
Yes,
was
I remember that.
Then it became what it was, a match on demand.
Wow, yo,
Yeah.
TRL, that was so
Yes.
good.
Yeah,
That was good.
Listen.
That was on the Madison Square, on New York, and then they had the big windows.
Yeah.
and that worked.
Yeah.
and then they were like, oh, let's do that format here. There's actually a great documentary on Crave, which about Much Music. It's amazing.
Did you cry when you watched it? Because I cried.
It was like, so I was late on Much Music. I was most MTV because I had the TV from the States, but yeah, there's a couple of people that I saw. I was there at the premiere. I saw some people that I watched when I was young, and they were like the reference to music, no? So right now we might have some influencers, some people that this person has good playlists, and they say this is what you need to listen this week, and then they were the ones that would say like, oh, like I like your style, this is what I listen to, and yeah, they were the first music influencers, I guess, for us.
Do you think there's a difference between the artists in Quebec and an artist internationally?
In terms of like procedure or like,
We can start with procedure.
Yeah, and after influence.
yeah, well, it depends of what type of music you make. Like say if you do French music, then you're maybe talking to, and this is super honest, you're talking to like Quebec only, part of Ottawa. Maybe you will do Edmonton, and then if you're really good, then you can do France, Belgium, and if your music transcends culturally, then you might do Afrique. So it really depends. It is tough, right? So let's say if you're and then if you try to do like a French rapper, like or rap cab or whatever you want to call it, then you'd be like, oh well, this doesn't play here. This doesn't play in Ottawa. So now you're talking about like Montreal based, but mostly region. So it depends of what your art is and what you're really trying to do, and and there's some people like Stromae where was such a good artist all around visually, musically, that his YouTube videos have subtitles because people wanted to watch it like it was a foreign film, And then so it really depends on like what Charlotte Cardin is doing now that Celine is not putting out music. She might be the one from Quebec.
Like in the case of, this is like open brackets. So Charlotte Cardin did 4 days in Plasma. Why can't she just do 2 days or a whole
the
day
Bell
at the Bell
Center.
Center?
Records. She did 13 MTELUS. She broke the record for or 13 or 14, but she broke the record. And you said she broke the record. So if she says like, oh, could she do 2 Bell Centers sold out or do 4 plus Bell sold out? Which one's the bigger number?
Yeah. So based
Okay.
on I see it.
So it's, even when you're a young artist, that was when I was a manager. I was like, look, we can get a bigger venue and do 80% of the capacity, or we can do 2 small venues and then have the poster saying sold out. So which one is, oh, he sold out a show, or like, oh yeah, he had it was kind of full.
Is it hard to be a manager to different artists?
There's a big difference between a manager, a booker, and an agent. I think some of them do like 3 of them, and sometimes you're your own manager. But it's just like an artist has a lot of like feelings and emotions, and that's what you have to manage, because you wanna like say, oh, we have a photo shoot at 4 p.m. You have to be there at 4 p.m. You have to manage your way to like, oh, we have to do this because this is a window to your music. You know? The artist just want to do music. You know? It's just like, okay, we have to. What do you think about the show? I just book, and then you go to a booker or an agent. Hey, we just have 10 shows. Oh yes, 10 shows. Then how we can sell those shows? We have to do videos. We have to do radio. You know, maybe podcasts, whatever. So the manager has to make sure that all of those tasks are done daily, and make sure the artist is happy so they can perform a good show.
How much time do you put in one artist?
So like, I'm not in the studio with them when I was producing some people. It was mostly like, hey, give me the songs. I will listen to like the whole thing. I say, which one's the single? Oh, this should be the single. I say, why? Because look, this is how. But then again, it's the artist, because I think this is the single. And then from a marketing point, be like, no, I think track 4 should be the single. And then we discuss, and then we say, okay, this is the way we're going. But so yeah, it could be a lot of time, but it's also a lot of investment. You know, when you start, you gotta see it like a startup company. If you believe in that person, and so much that, you know, you say, hey, you just do music. I'll put money off my pocket because I know we should invest in this. So yeah, you just gotta make them believe in themselves as much as you believe in them. You just have to, you know, cope with the ego and try to be always like, you know, grateful and humble of all the steps, because, you know, sometimes when you get results, that the cap might be tight a little bit, but you just have to deal with emotions, and that's it. It's mostly that. And just a little tip, if you say why people need to be a manager, like my example is always like, what if I make cookies? What if I'm my own manager, so I am the one that's selling the cookies? So what if I say, hey, have you tried my cookies? What? I make the best cookies. What? I make taste it. This is my, and then you're like, you have this like, you take a cookie, you eat it, and I have this looking at you straight up, and you're like, oh man, I'm not sure about this cookie. But you have this weird reaction, and it could be a fake reaction to be like, oh, this is a good cookie. See, I told you made the best cookie. So all this whole interaction, it's weird. But if you have someone, a coworker or whatever, a friend says, hey man, did I tell you that I found out the best cookies in Montreal? What? The best cookies? Well, tell me. Oh man, there's this spot in Papineau, whatever. This person makes the best cookies. Oh yeah, I have a batch right now. Oh my God, the cookie is so amazing. This is so great. Man, can I have more? Yeah, I got you. Like, you gotta go through me, but I'll make sure you have cookies for your birthday. Blah 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 blah. And that's managing. Like, if you have that straight with the artists have feelings, have like, he've put so much work, hours into that piece of music, cookie on this example. But then you have that reaction that is kind of like, oh well, I'm not sure, and that could break an artist. But if you have someone that is actually doing the dealing, and okay, perfect. If it's a no-go, it's a no-go, and then you have, how can I break the news? You know, and sometimes the good news, hey, good news, we got it. Yeah. And it's like, hey, it wasn't a fit. I think like artistically you don't want to go there. Maybe we should try this way. Okay, perfect.
So it's all about the words too.
It's all about protecting the art and the artist. So yeah, or the cookies in this case.
Are the Canadian and Quebecois artists have this big major impact internationally in the music industry? Like, can you say that, let's say, Avril Lavigne has this big impact, or Simple Plan, or Celine Dion? Like,
well, out of those names, yes. So let's say, like, or those names, Celine Dion, like, in the 90s, like, she was really big in the 80s here. And then once she went global, what was 96, 97? And then and then everybody knew Celine Dion, and everyone was speaking for, oh, you know Celine Dion, and even I knew her name was in Peru. You know, I was bumping the Titanic soundtrack, and on a cassette. And then like Avril Lavigne, I would say her influence is big. If you look at the Olivia Rodrigos, if you look at all the pop rock artists that are coming out right now, there's always like trying to imitate what they have seen. Like
yes, I see that a lot.
Yeah. Even me, like when I do work or marketing, like I was like, what do I used to love when I was young? And then I go back to watch some MTV tapes and say, oh yes, I really like this aesthetic, and then I use it for every work I get inspired. But it's the same thing with artists, and yeah, I think there's a lot of niche. So like one of the biggest rappers is Canadian.
Drake.
Oh, okay. I was like,
who?
One of the biggest pop stars is Canadian.
Justin Bieber.
One of the biggest R&B singers is Canadian. And they might not have come from Quebec. Maybe we have like 3 to 4 names. Yeah. So it depends on what you listen to. We don't have like Kate Renata. He comes. I think he's come from Longueuil, but he.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So he never got any like local awards. You know?
But do you think it's better for artists in Quebec to just like go in the streaming platforms and not do like a local work?
I think with the internet, all we have is IP addresses. Onto the point is like, if I'm from Montreal, that's just part of my bio, but it's not part of where I live. So say if I really want to get into like Japanese rock, I can go to the Reddit of Japanese rock, and I might feel like I'm in Japan. So the thing is like, and I always use the Kid Cudi example. Like the first Kid Cudi show ever was in Australia, Sydney.
Really?
Because he looked at his SoundCloud numbers, and he was like, people are rocking with my song in Australia, so maybe we should do a show out there. And he did a couple shows there, and once he did the footage of people from Cleveland, I was like, oh, he's from Cleveland. Maybe we should do a show here now that we have the footage of Australia. So sometimes you like, maybe like whatever you're trying to do, it's cool here, but it's great in Germany. And sometimes you gotta, instead of doing those local ads on your Meta platform, maybe you should target those things, and because there's an audience everywhere, you just have to find your audience. So you just gotta be like, hey guys, I'm here. Oh, do you like Post Malone? I make music like Post Malone. Maybe once you finish his album, you should try me, and get there. If it's in Montreal, well, you're a Uber away. If it's in Peru, take a plane. You find your audience.
It's like the Backstreet Boys in the 1980s when they came to.
You were here.
Place first
Place
concert.
That was crazy.
I was like, wow.
Backstreet Boys were here?
Yeah, that was our first concert ever. No one wanted to see them. They just flew here. Place Vertu. There's a whole video about it, and then they're just all the girls are screaming in Place Vertu in the mall.
You're talking about Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys, our first ever venue concert was.
It was
in
like an HMV thing or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God, HMV! I forgot about that store.
Yeah, it was. That's how I met your brother. He was always buying like Taylor Swift CDs.
Why am I not surprised?
I was on HMV just talking music, and I was like, "Oh, you know too much. Come work with me."
It's crazy. The downfall of HMV and Blockbuster is crazy. Those days were the days. These kids don't have it like that.
Streaming.
I know streaming is
but
insane.
it gives you more. So this is the thing. Is like when I used to buy CDs at HMV, it was like, oh, I like one song. Hopefully the album is good. So I would put like $25 out of my pocket just for one song. And I used to go like, I think music used to drop every Tuesday. It wasn't Friday.
Really?
Yeah, I used to drop every Tuesday. Or like Thursday, but at one point it was Tuesday. So I used to go on Tuesdays with like $100 cash. And I'd be like, what can I get for $100? Like, what is the good music that came out this week? And they'd be like, and I used to spend hours at like the listening booth because I wanted to buy like a good album. So I'd be there like, I had to listen to the whole album. I was there like 3 hours. I brought a snack. And to some point that they were like, yo, like, why don't you work for us? I was like, yeah, you're always here.
Yeah.
So then when iTunes came in and they were trying like, oh, I can buy one song because I like that song, and
you can have the little snippet of the song on iTunes before purchasing it.
But then
So
we had
easy.
Napsters, we had Casas, LimeWire,
Yeah.
and that also it was weird because either I paid $25 for an album, or I download it illegally and I get virus to my computer, and that costs me $500.
The FBI come knocking at your door.
Right.
But that's how Soulja Boy got Crank That going. He made on LimeWire he changed it, like say, oh, let's say you're trying to download 50 Cent in the Club, and he put it all in caps, 50 Cent in the club mix, and he used it for every song out there. And so you download it, and then when you played, it was Crank That from Soulja Boy. So he this
Marketing
guy,
king.
Right.
and then he was like, what the fuck? And they were like, oh, but this is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Crank
So
That.
yeah, that's what he did.
Craig that did that.
Yeah, Crank That gives.
Yeah.
Gives till this day.
The other day I was listening to it at 9 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a but even the dance was the
He didn't. He was the first one to do it, and now we see those TikTok dances. But he was
right.
And the pants, the outfit, let's not forget the fashion.
yeah.
The white
big-
pants,
the
the
white
t-shirt.
dress.
Yeah, the white t-shirt that was a dress. Down the knees.
Okay, who was your top 5 favorite artists?
Oof, all genres or just hip hop?
All genres.
I'm wearing one right now. NERD, it's Pharrell's rock group. That means no one ever really dies. And I'm a like the thing is like, okay, for them, for the next 5 artists, like whatever I see from them, like I buy, like no question asked. Oh, that has a NERD logo, put it in the bag, I'll buy. I mean, I love Kanye. I have to defend him all the time, but musically he's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just some of the lyrics.
He's a genius. Everything is funny.
But the thing with him is with the genius thing is like they gave him that compliment too fast. They have to say that the nomenclature should have been musical because he's a musically genius.
Exactly.
But now when he say genius, now he thinks he's
Genius.
genius everything.
Yeah.
Like oh yeah, like oh let's do maths. I'm a genius. No, bro, you're not flying a plane. You are a musical genius. But yeah, he's great.
Okay, so nerd.
NERD, Kanye, I would say, Kid Cudi, trying to go into rock, Queen, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, Queen was amazing. I mean, I have so many. I have to give a shout to the girlies. I have so many. I love the Carpenters. The Carpenters. It is a 60s rock band, and the sweetest voice you will ever hear in a vinyl is Carpenter. Carpenters. Yeah.
I know about Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
yeah, I see. Yeah, no, she did a great Coachella set. Sabrina Carpenter.
I didn't see it.
Do you watch Coachella?
I watch everything. I have to. I want to watch everything, and then I have to watch everything. Like I've been to Coachella last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was headlining again last year?
It was but it was supposed to be Frank Ocean.
It was Blink, and then there was Blackpink, and then there was
Blackpink didn't even headline.
No, they headline last year.
Oh yeah, it was Saturday.
It was
no, because after them Calvin Harris played. So it was Bad Bunny, Blackpink, Calvin Harris, I guess, and Frank Ocean. And I dyed my hair green.
Just for him.
And I was on the plane.
He didn't even show up.
Yeah, when I had the green hair, we took the plane, and once we landed, I got like 50 texts like,
damn,
Frank Ocean Castle, and I'm like looking stupid with my green hair.
No, it's okay because Coachella is like that.
Vibe,
exactly.
Yeah. No, but they knew. So my friends were like, one of my friends was trying to get a bald spot. And I was laughing at his bald spot, looking like, you're looking like Zidane. and he was like, oh, shut up, you're next. No, bro, I can do whatever I want. And I said, oh, I'm going to dye my hair just to prove you. I'm going to dye my hair every month just to prove that I'm going to have much hair than you. And then I started doing it, and it became a thing, and I liked it. So I was just out of spite.
We love that. We love that for you. Let's talk about social media streaming platform, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the bloggings, all of that. So, do you think right now, because there's much music is in the past, now we are very much TikTok, and TikTok can bring you a lot of new artists.
There are artists that just do music
for TikTok. What do you think about that?
So I love TikTok. I think that made us help us through a tough time.
Yep. That's not remember.
Yeah. But it's also tough to be productive. So I don't go to the HMVs anymore to listen to music. I stream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I go to and I think TikTok have a better algorithm. But like, if I want to be like, oh, I want to discover stuff, and I look some creators that are great. They're doing, and then I'm like, whoa, it's 3 a.m. The fuck, like I'm on my phone.
TikTok
So
will do that to you.
yeah, but the
No
thing,
cap.
but the thing is like, if I was reviewing, if like you guys, like you have this podcast, so if you say, oh, let's watch the Teen Wolves, and you'll be watching the Teen Wolves because you had a motive, right? But I am a productive person. I like to do stuff. So if I watch some creators do their stuff, and I'd be like, oh man, I have to do something. Like, oh my god, I get inspired. So it's good because like I can discover music. Sometimes when it's trendy, it is the same music. So it will be like, okay, blah 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 blah.
Real.
So it is like it is great because like after like 30 minutes I will know the hook of that song.
Yeah.
Which if they ever play it, and I think like the first big song that came out of TikTok was the Dance Monkey.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me.
Yeah, that one. But it was because that one would stay on TikTok. And once they started playing on the radio, they would be like, oh yes, that's the song from TikTok.
Yeah.
But and that's okay for her because she kind of like started making like shows and there were a lot of artists that came out of that. But once you start doing songs for TikTok, but this being like they have been doing like that. The song, what was the Drake song? The right foot left, red foot slide. Tussy roll, Tussy slide.
Yeah.
So he did that during the peak of like TikTok. So you knew that song was like he wrote the song so it became a dance. So like I kind of he takes out the genuine part of it, but at the same time like. So that's what I feel is like if you try to do it for TikTok, it might be we kind of like, oh yeah, I know what you're trying to do, but when it's something genuine, it kind of gives.
What do you think of artists taking like the sound
On the sample.
the sample? For
Like just
example,
recopying the song.
Like
what's his name? Jack Harlow. That's an old song.
Yeah. Well, so this is where I also get gray hairs.
Because no one's original anymore.
No, it's because now they're sampling music that I came out when it was my time.
Damn.
So like, but there's always been sampling, like especially for hip hop, and so it'd be like like the Tupac song would be like an Isley Brothers song from the 70s called Between the Sheets, and they took the bass line, and it's part of the culture. And now in the industry, you have to clear those samples. So you have like Jack Harlow, if maybe he liked that song or maybe his producer liked that song. But if you really wanted to put it on the album, you have to go to the whoever owns the track. And sometimes like artists don't even own the track. Like some songwriters that have like a 33%, blah, 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 or like publishers. And then so you have to clear over that before putting it there. I feel like everything we watch right now, it's a sample or inspired from the past. You just have to clear it and make sure it's not a copy.
So it's not just like, oh, I'm making music to make music. There's a lot going on.
It's
behind.
I mean, if I will make let's say I have like, I don't know, I won the lottery and be like, I'll do an album, and I'll be like, which track really meant a lot to me when I was 8 years old. And then I can sample that to create it, to kind of like an ode to that moment. But once I do that and I show that to my manager, they'll be like, great, now it's going to cost money.
Yeah.
It's going to cost money to make money, so.
They better get to their bag.
Yeah.
Get to that money.
Period.
100%.
Interesting question for you. What does Montreality mean to you?
Montreality.
Because this is also part of the industry.
Montreality,
It is a new it's another platform of streaming in a way, like to get to know artists.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I speak about it. This is a great question. I love those guys. Man, I don't want to get emotional. This is the first time I speak about it. They're really I always tell Sina, Sina Danielle, and now they have a big team. But like, yo, these guys are hustlers. They were like Laval. When they were on a Laval, they met on a Laval high school, and they had this idea of just like covering shows, and they started like me, just giving out flyers. Like I started on the music industry giving out flyers, and they did the same. They were like, oh, and then like, oh, can we get our camera in? We're not gonna do interviews, and then they were like, oh, we're gonna do interviews, and then they started building their YouTube, and that was their own goal and their own job. So they were like, there was no plan B for them, and now that it is super weird because we were at the same Carrefour Laval, like food court table, and I was taking my break, and he was shopping, whatever, and we had this convo about like what we want to do in our lives, and now we're doing it.
That's good.
And we're collabing on some stuff. We collabed last year, and I know there's a lot of people that were like, because I worked with them for like 2 years, and I know there's a lot of people that were like, oh, they have the Montreal name, they should put Montreal artists, but they've been doing it. Just that for a couple of times, he said to me, he said like, we don't have enough following right now, so it wouldn't be a bigger impact. So they waited out to like, now they're like, I don't know, millions and millions of followers. So now, and then started, okay, we have an audience now, let's put people on, and so that was a bigger impact. And you know, Zaina was part of it too. You know, Zaina was one of the artists that they were always featuring Montreality because they were working together and a lot of support. She's killing it right now. So and yeah, so I feel all saying this because like it's been 10 years, maybe more. I mean, yeah, I met them like 12 years ago, and they've been hustling before that, and that's their own. There's no plan B for them, and they're killing it. So yeah, it means a lot as of just meeting them, and also I get inspired by them. So when they see the hustle, say, "Oh man, I gotta get in the dirt. I gotta do it myself too." So yeah,
because I have to say, for me, Montreality, it helped me see new artists that we typically don't see here in Montreal or just don't listen to. So it's especially like in the trap side of it. I've seen Cuban Doll. They brought up Blueface, Trippy, Juice WRLD. They brought up so many people.
Those Juice WRLD interviews,
great,
iconic.
Yeah,
those Lil Peep interviews. And the thing is, like, I watch every single one, and like, and we were talking about formats, 20 minutes, is it long? And back in the days, it was long. In 2013, 2014, when he was trying to do like long videos, and I said, I know what I'm trying to do, but like, people have ADD right now that they cannot go 20 minutes, and now the format has changed. It came back around. Now when you go on YouTube and be like, yeah, I wanna sit in, but it changed it because you're so used to TikTok. They'll be like 15 seconds, right? Then you'll be like, oh no, actually, like, I want to sit on the couch. I have a Chrome or whatever. I can watch YouTube sitting down. Hit me out with a podcast. Hit me out with anything. And yeah, they're setting boundaries for content and for music here. So yeah, I love those guys.
Wow.
Yeah, they were definitely ahead of their time because I was in high school. I don't think I asked her about it last night. She's like, who's that?
Look, I'm gonna do my research on Montreal.
Right. And then another person also who does great interviews, Nardwar.
That's my guy.
She don't even know who that is. Nardwar.
That's
girl.
That's yeah. He's the
He's
best.
iconic. He's like, and who are you?
Yeah, but he
I'm
gives
great.
you actually he gives you the answers, and then you do the questions. So it'll be like, was a great research. So they'll be like, let's see, I'm an NERD fan. I didn't have this thing on. And he'd be like, can you tell me about In Search Of?
And then he brings you a gift.
And
and
he
you're
gives you
like,
the vinyl. So I would get the vinyl. It was like, whoa, where do you get this? How do you know this? Because instead of saying like, what was your favorite album? The answer is In Search Of. He will give you, hey, here's In Search Of by NERD. And like, how do you know this? Oh my God, I haven't seen it. So the reaction is genuine. So I would say, yeah, this is one of my favorite albums. Yeah, he's the GOAT. He lives in Vancouver.
Okay.
We have great Canadian platforms here for music.
But aren't Canadian out there as much as the Americans are?
I think that we need to build, and we need to build with the right format. So I think it's an old format that we have right now. I mean, I love the Junos, and I really do. When was the last time you watched the Junos?
No.
So there's a thing. So like, and then the viewership and there's the ways to do it. You know, I think Junos was presented by TikTok, so they kind of do something on the platform. So yeah, they have to adapt. They have to create things, and yeah. I mean, I'm glad all the names that we said that are Canadian, they're top 10 artists out there. But it should be should be a top 50 to be 100. So we need to. And so like everyone needs to figure out a new format that works for now and for the future. You know?
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of talent here.
We're going to play a little game.
Perfect.
So we have
pictures.
We have pictures, images of different logos and albums. And we want you...
Oh, you guys are prepared.
Yeah.
Of course. Yo, this is AoY. Like, come on now. So we're going to show you the picture, and you said like what logo it is. And if it's an album, you say what's the title of the album and what's your favorite song of the album.
Or the group or the logo, whatever it is. Whoever it is, that's Canadian.
I'll react.
Do you want to start?
Okay. I'm going to show it to you first.
That's Music Plus.
That's the old... That's a new one. That was the recent one.
Yeah, it was the recent one.
But the old one was... It was running Music Plus on it. So I was like, I'm not going to show you
for sure.
like the logo.
Or you could have had that little like ball, disco ball they had. Because it was the same for Much Music.
Yeah. And what... Sainte-Catherine and...
Is it Sherbrooke?
No, it was in Sainte-Catherine. Or where's the Quartier Spectacle? That was packed. It was like that window. I always say like, oh, one day I'm gonna go there, but I was like, I feel like I'm too old. But yeah, there were a lot of great shows, free shows there. Green Day played there.
One Direction.
That One Direction video I saw is crazy. And people used to like Music Plus might be one of the reasons everybody skipped school. Yeah, because you had to be there. Because you couldn't. There was no YouTube. So it was like, oh yeah, I'm there. Either I'm there or either I'm on TV, and you had to make plans that day. Be like, hey, are you skipping school and coming to Music Plus, or are you? No, I'm gonna watch from home. And then it'd be like, oh, I saw you. You were on the. then they made signs, you know. But it was crazy. Like I skipped school so many times for music and.
But I feel like it's sad that our generation
we couldn't do that.
Experience that.
I want to experience that.
Yo!
I want to act a fool.
Stay in school.
Nikki.
I would skip school for Nikki if she was there.
Right?
Yeah. She would be like, stay at school, Barbs. Are you in school?
With a sign. And they knew, like, you how old are you? Like 14. You should be in school. And then my mom will saw you and be like, yo, you were supposed to be at school. I saw you on TV.
Okay.
Is it the Dangerous in Love album? Dangerous in Love, right?
He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
What's your favorite song?
Stuff. I don't remember the track. Of course, Crazy in Love is up there. But I feel like, was it that one with... Baby Boy was in there.
That one's good. Valid.
Baby Boy's in there.
Are you gonna go see Sean Paul?
1,000%. I think it was sold out.
Yeah, he is. I tried to like get tickets like the day after. Gone. It was all resale. I was like, oh,
yeah. Wow. No, he's great. And he did Il Sonic, and he was the only one that brought a band.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So it was cool. Yeah. No, that album, Beyonce, those times were amazing. That slow slow-mo walk with the
videos
films,
that in this time, the videos in that era.
Because see, they're memorable. I can tell you frame by frame.
Like I'm sorry, Ice Spice.
Okay.
Love, Future, Sex, Sounds. 06.
With who? Who was on this album as well?
Who was there? I remember. They had T.I. was there. Swiss Beats made the beat. They had. I can't wait to fall in love. That was the album.
And then there was Timberland on it as well.
He was always there.
There you go. Timberland. Shout out to Timberland.
Timberland
was
did
everywhere.
that.
Was everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Dirty Laundry by Shakira or some laundry service. Okay, I see that.
I'm sticking.
It's not her.
Shakira. She's coming to Montreal too.
Yeah.
December 10.
Yes.
The greatest.
Wow. Are you
Yes, she is.
surprised that a lot of artists are coming to Montreal now? Because before, I'm sorry, but no one was coming. Like in the between 2010 and 2020, no artists. Before, yes.
So it's a loaded question because they didn't. But in the 99, okay, I'm gonna call it the Britney Spears era. They did not need to tour because they were selling so many albums. Like Backstreet Boys did not need to tour because money. It was $20 a CD. Blah 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 blah. Like they were making like 2 million sales per week. HMV told me like they were like sometimes we just stay at the cash and people line up to buy. So they were making a lot of money on sales. So Britney Spears never really got into like tours. So now that the industry is made like streaming platforms and they have to sell merch, there was a point like Travis Scott. I think he did great with kind of like if you buy. I'm dropping this merch collection. If you buy it, you get an album. The album counted as a record sale, which counted like I think it was like 10,000 streams, the equivalent. So he got number one, and then that became illegal like years after because he's cheating the system.
Wow.
And so the loaded question is like they didn't need to tour back then, so. We have more people that are touring because it's tour money, it's fan service, it's meet and greets, it's being out there, and you have to perform live. You have to be good now. Like Britney Spears, she was lip syncing.
Yeah.
And there's also, and this is honest, like I've been to a lot of places, and I always feel like when artists were saying like, Montreal, you were the best crowd in the tour. I thought they were lying all the time. I said, this is another fan service, cheap pop. They might not be wrong.
Because I know that the crowd in Montreal, regardless if it's music or
sports,
sports,
yeah, Montreal
we
is
are crazy.
Yeah,
like we are crazy. I have another one.
Graduation.
Good morning.
Came out on September 11, 07.
Oh wow!
That was huge.
That's
album
iconic.
It's great.
All right, for my part, you ready?
Oh
People, she don't know.
That's
about this
Narwhal.
She don't know about this. This is Narwhal. I showed her earlier. She was like. Narwhal. And on that note, what he says at the end, on that note, do.
Keep rocking on the free world. No, he's the best. Like I might call like either something from like my son or whatever. It should be Narwhal, but he's like really important to me.
I think Uzi has one of the last part of his interview in what's it called? Futsal Shuffle. Yeah.
No, he's great. And he's getting old now, and I'm just praying for his health. He's GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yeah. Do you know about this group?
Wait.
This is a Canadian group.
I feel like I know them.
I don't even know.
Man. Oh, they played Oshaga. Oh my God.
So now we caught him. We caught him red-handed.
No, but they played like
back in the days.
They play 06. What's the name again?
Down with Webster.
Down with Webster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go.
Oh, I love me some Down with Webster.
Yeah,
What song they made?
They did Your Man, Big Will.
Good question.
Yeah, they did Chill, One in a Million.
It was the pop punk.
Yeah,
Pop punk,
they were a lot on the radio. They have great music videos.
yeah. Oh my God, yeah, it's been a minute.
All right, can you name us? Hold on.
So,
Can you name us this album? Simple Plan.
I don't remember the name. I played a lot of those songs. I went to see them maybe like 3 times. That in Sum 41 was big, but they were playing a lot of Much Music, which was them. They were also they're from Quebec. I think.
Yes, they are.
The bassist is from Québécois, français.
Huh.
Great album.
The album is still not getting any.
Still not getting. Wow.
They have great songs on this album too.
Yeah.
Still not getting any.
Which one is this? Okay,
No,
this is another Canadian group.
Mariana's Trenches.
The name?
I don't know. Oh my God. I don't remember those. I don't remember the name. Puppet something.
I think it was like Ever After or something like that. They had a great
They-
album.
they-
And then our last one, special shout out to
Montreality.
Montreality. Period.
That's the
yeah,
song.
they were great. You made my teenage years
Yeah.
so
They're-
fun. But that's pretty much what ends today's episode. I hope you guys
Yeah.
liked it. Also, last episode of the season. But we definitely want to do some special shout outs, especially Sans Restriction team. Bruno. Shout out to Bruno. Shout out to Bruno. No cap.
Shout out
Bruno
Bruno.
helped us. Bruno was here from day one. Sat with us, fixed everything for hours. Shout out to Bruno. Shout out to Bruno. And then your brother Kevin. Shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to you, bro.
Kev.
Yeah, for the support, the likes, the shares, everything. It's fun. We also want to say thank you for the team, Serena and Rima. You guys don't see them, but they're here. They've been here from the start. Thank you to you, our first guest.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
And then we want to say special thanks to my sister Christal for anything that has to do with decoration.
And
Your
my sister
Felicia with
Yeah.
the imaging, the name, everything.
Yeah.
And we want to say thank you to everyone who supported us, from friends, family, everyone that's resharing our videos, liking, commenting, subscribing. You know, share with your mama, your sister, your grandma, Jesus, whoever you believe in, and then that's great.
But
And
Jesus only has 12 followers.
let's not even get to this.
So on that note, thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, bye.
Bye.